It's time to pick up right where we left off in DC K.O. number 3. See, the final four of this DC K.O. tournament is Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex Luthor, and the Joker himself. And once they went to Earth, now completely ravaged by Darkseid, they've got to go up against the Absolute Trio and Darkseid himself. Kinda, because he does still have the skin of Booster Gold. But an entirely new chain of events happened right before this battle can actually take place. And this involves a few very fun crossovers. So, let's get into it. Earth, if it could be called that anymore. The Heart of Apocalypse is ravaging this land beyond comprehension, tearing at its soul, changing it into something hideous, something apocalyptic. And the only place that I, the World Forger, and my ally, Gorilla Grodd, could escape to, as we see the both of them teleport on what used to be the Earth. And Grodd says, "The battle with Darkseid has left you hurt, World Forger. Maybe this is a sign." As the Forger responds, "Of what, Grodd? That we should quit? Throw in with that madman? No. It would be better if this universe ends than letting him have his way." But Grodd sees something in the distance. That choice may be out of our hands. Look. As the World Forger sees what Grodd is looking at and thinks to himself, Darkseid's soldiers. They bear the title of hero, though they were born in the chaos of his Omega energy, and they will crush Earth's champions. And he cannot allow this to happen. No. No! As he smashes the ground and continues to think to himself, I use what little I have left of the power to shape and reshape worlds for one last desperate gambit, to try and save what small chance of survival we have. And with this, the Absolute Trio are completely frozen. As Joker, of course, thinks this is hilarious. Quick, let's slice their throats before they start moving again. But the Forger tells him no. If you were to attempt to harm them, this blink of an eye would shut and the tournament would continue. And Lex can guess what comes next. They would lose. As the Forger continues to explain, yes, Luthor, these other versions of you were born, forged in the energy of an Omega universe. You do not have the power to fight them. Yet, here, yes, I can feel them. Former combatants that have lost, but may yet be given a second chance to help us in our quest. As he brings back Black Lightning, Plastic Man, Batwoman, and Star Sapphire, all very confused on how they were brought back this way. As he tells them, if we do not hurry, this world will be much worse than hell. And he continues, as the only one that might be able to pierce the veil of the multiverse, I will attempt to reach out to the worlds beyond, and bring new champions into these reality fissures. You all must enter the fissures, fight the champions. I will collect the Omega energy produced. And when my hammer is full, I can transfer the energy to the final four to finish this fight. Hurry, I will not be able to keep these rifts open for long. Now, go! As Grodd says, I know what it will cost to hold these fissures open. Do you have the strength? As the World Forger tells him, I have to. And now, we know the plan. We know why these heroes are about to cross over with some other kind of people. And with that, the shenanigans begin. Plastic Man and Black Lightning land in the Mortal Kombat universe, right in the middle of a tournament, right in front of Sub-Zero. As Shang Tsung says, who dares interrupt this most sacred Mortal Kombat? For that, you must fight! And before we see that battle, we catch up with Wonder Woman as someone says, welcome fans and friends alike, and she begins to think to herself, the light is blinding, and that sound, like rushing water. No, not water, a crowd. As she stands inside a coliseum, and this person says, to a battle of the most dangerous women on the planet. At the far end of the coliseum, we have the Princess of Themyscira, Wonder Woman, and on the other side, she with the blood-red blades, the Scarlet Scourge, the Crimson She-Devil, Red Sonja. And now we see Diana is in the Conan universe and she's gotta go against Red Sonja herself. And with that, we catch up with our boy the Joker as he's teleported to a very creepy looking house and he says, well, what do we have here? Farmhouse, walk around, porch, shiplap? I wonder what those Gotham house flippers would sell for this. Of course we'll never know after I've murdered them for telling me to get rid of my sunroom. And as he walks in, he continues to analyze the house. Quaint. Could use a bit more vandalism though, but the door slams behind him. And it turns out, Joker's been teleported to the Conjuring universe and Annabelle the doll is there to greet him. And he of course does not take this seriously. Oh, what do we have here? A little doll? Won't this be fun? And even Batwoman is not surprised she was teleported to the universe of Vampirella, as she says. Of course, I get the Gothic castle, and I'm guessing whoever lives there. Well, might as well introduce myself. Knock knock, anybody home? As she sees Vampirella already waiting for her. I must say, you definitely know how to make an entrance, as she quickly vanishes and ends up right behind Batwoman, though I wonder how much better your exit will be. And probably the most wholesome of all the encounters, Sabrina the Teenage Witch versus Star Sapphire, as they just kinda have a conversation. Star Sapphire just tells her plainly, I guess I'm here to fight you, and Sabrina doesn't even understand why. So she explains, it's a long story, but in order to stop a great evil from destroying my world, we're supposed to fight, create a bunch of Omega energy, and Sabrina is more than willing to oblige. Oh, is that all? I bet I can whip up a nice spell that'll take care of some big baddie. And Star Sapphire tries to tell her not to do this, but it's too late. With a wave of her finger, a giant magical wave pushes everyone and everything away. As we catch up with Lex Luthor, and he's thinking to himself, be on guard, Luthor, there's no telling what the World Forger has come up with. And he starts to analyze his surroundings. Trees, birds singing. Curious. What's that sound? Something dripping. Something, and he looks back in horror as something behind him says, oh dear, I wish you hadn't seen this, as he runs into Samantha Strong with a knife in her hand, brutally killing another animal. And Lex is not only confused but completely terrified. A bear with a butcher knife? A bear? As he's doing his best to dodge her attacks. I'm not sure what you are, strange furless ape, but try to stay still, it will hurt less, as she tries to stab him. As he's crawling away, screaming for his life, and he thinks to himself, I have to keep going, stay out of this furry miscreant's reach. And she continues, my secrets are mine, but don't worry, I'll bear you near the others. You'll have a lot of company. As she actually gets a stab in his armor, but this gives him the chance he needs to smack her off of him. And now he's trying to figure out where she went, but she says, my name is Samantha Strong, and I'm right here. And with Lex fighting for his life against a serial killer bear with a knife, we catch up with Superman, who's flying in front of Vought America. This dude has been teleported to the Boys universe, and he's thinking to himself, strange, it doesn't look that much different from Metropolis, but he hears someone crying out in pain, someone begging for someone to stop, and he continues, and just like in Metropolis, it seems like someone is in trouble. And as he crashes down, ready to help, standing right in front of him is Homelander with an arm in his hand. And he says, a problem? Not when Homelander is on the scene, but I'm sorry, who the fuck are you supposed to be? And with that, we catch back up with Plastic Man and Black Lightning, getting cooked by Sub-Zero. Shang Tsung's literally in the middle of saying fatality, but they break out of his ice. And Plastic Man says, I'm glad I was able to wrap us up before old Frost Freak here hit us with his magic snowballs, as Black Lightning thanks him and tells him, I never want to be that close to you again. And now they're ready to take on Sub-Zero. And together they quickly overwhelm him, but the fight is not over. Because before they jumped in, someone was frozen in ice, and that someone is Scorpion himself. And now it's time for our heroes to test their might against Sub-Zero and Scorpion. And this is the part where I thought these two would get clapped by Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but that's not what happened. Plastic Man simply throws Scorpion into Sub-Zero, and Black Lightning electrocutes the both of them. Still, our heroes prevail. And low-key, that shit was ass. I needed to see a longer fight than that. Either way, we catch up with Wonder Woman, who's still fighting Red Sonja, and she says, your abilities match even the greatest of my Amazon sisters, Red Sonja. And she responds, you are a fine fighter yourself, princess, but to survive in the world of men, you'll need to be better. And they continue to go back and forth. I've survived worse than men, Crimson One, and I will fight until my dying breath. Yield. But Red Sonja not hearing any of that. Red Sonja yields to no one, smacking Wonder Woman across the face. And it looks like she's about to win this. Prepare to die! But Diana thinks to herself, she is an incredible fighter, with the speed of a demon. But I am not without my own abilities, blocking the attack with her bracers. And as everyone else is finishing up their fights, Superman is still speaking to Homelander. But really, Homelander's doing all the talking, as when Superman tries to speak, Homelander says, shh shh shh. Let me guess, you're here to kill me? Another in a long line of people trying to take my mantle as America's favorite superhero? Well, my friend, many have tried, but most had better outfits. As he tries to heat vision Superman, and Superman responds in kind, and he even thinks to himself, his heat vision, it matches mine. Which is crazy, because a lot of y'all was saying Homelander was weak, with Superman dodging Homelander's heat vision and going underground. And Homelander doesn't understand what's happening. I've never seen someone run away by going underground. What a piece of boom! Punched right in the mouth, drawing blood. Superman hits Homelander with a Naruto special, and he tells him Superman doesn't run away, as Superman hits him again, but Homelander says, my turn, punching Superman right in the stomach and bringing him down. As World Forger says, it's working. The power from the battles is filling my hammer. I just can't hold, and he faints right in front of Grodd. And this is not good, as Grodd says. No, without his control, the fissures are collapsing on each other. If they merge, the energy will coalesce and Darkseid will win, as Joker is having a tea party with Annabelle the doll. And he's even taking the time to talk to her. Oh Annabelle, you are a wicked one, aren't you? Why, your stories are almost as hilarious as my own, which really just makes me mad. I am the only one that's supposed to be funny around here, as he breaks his teacup and puts it right in her face. But before he can get anything started, we see Homelander and Superman breaking in the house, attacking each other. And again, I gotta say, Homelander is not as weak as y'all made him out to be. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not a power scaler, but you guys were exaggerating a bit. As Joker says, tea party crashers, how rude. Especially when I was just about to enjoy my dessert. Now where is that wretched doll, as Annabelle jumps right in front of his face. And Homelander starts to jack up Superman. And here I thought you were going to be a challenge, Superman. But our boy's not done, headbutting Homelander right in the face, drawing blood. I was about to say the same thing. And Joker is just flinging around the doll. I saw you move, I know it, I saw you move. And with things getting crazy there, things are also getting crazy between Star Sapphire and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. They were both having a hard time calming down this magical storm, but eventually Sabrina is able to do so, only for a crack in reality to open right behind her. And jumping out of this crack is Plastic Man, Black Lightning, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion, all still fighting each other. And things are still ramping up, as Batwoman is flipping over Vampirella, but something appears, and we see things have officially hit the fan. Because now all of the battles are in the same Coliseum as Red Sonja and Wonder Woman, and everyone is really getting after it. I just think it's so hilarious that in the little corner you see Joker strangling the doll, who has been mostly just sitting there. And when things getting more and more chaotic, World Forger finally wakes up, and he says, I have failed. The realities are collapsing, folding in on each other until the universe dies. Without someone to wield the hammer and direct the Omega Energy, we are lost. And Grodd tells him, no, not yet. I can help you. We can reach out together, direct the Omega Energy by connecting my mind with our champions. But the Forger tells him, you can't. Your powers aren't, but there's no time for this. Grodd tells him, grab the hammer, do what we came here to do. And now it's time. I can feel the energy. I need to give it to the Final Four. I need to do it now. As the Forger thinks to himself, I can feel Grodd pushing, reaching out to those inside the fissure. His powers combine with my own, leeching the Omega Energy from those we have stolen from their own realities. Champions, heroes, villains, all with their own lives, their own stories. Now, in service of our own, Grodd and I send them back, though some resist. With that being Homelander strangling Superman, trying to beat him with the heat vision, and he says, not yet, not until this Boy Scout is dead and buried. And the Forger continues, the others, those that fought on the side of humanity, have done their duty and now become Stone Sentinels, overseers of the last battle. And finally, we can send the energy into our Final Four, giving them the power to fight Darkseid's champions, with Lex Luthor, Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Joker glowing with Omega Energy. And Lex says, did it work? And Forger tells him it will have to. The others have been sent back to their own times, their own realities, and you now have enough power to fight Darkseid's champions. And with that, the Absolute Trio has been unfrozen. It's time to finish this. Absolute Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman with Darkseid inside Booster Gold's body against Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex, and the Joker, all amped up with Omega Energy. It is finally time for the final battle, with this all ending in DC K.O. number 4. I do hope you guys enjoyed the issue. I thought this was pretty good. I know people weren't really happy, at least from what I saw. I liked it, and I definitely can't wait to see how this battle finally ends in issue number 4. I will catch you guys on the next one.